Rare Breed Take Up Arms Against Conformity. It's written by Bonnell and Ashleigh Hansberger, and just like the cover says, it's a guide for the defiant, dangerous and different. One chapter that really stood out to me was the one about being audacious, and in true Robert Greene fashion, you know, the guy behind this book, that book and that book, they talk about both sides of these traits, the traits of the rare breed. And being audacious can be both an asset and a weakness depending on how it's used, right? It can be an asset when, I quote, when unshakable conviction in a crazy vision unlocks futures that didn't exist or inspire people to do the impossible. But it can also be a weakness when, and I quote again, when egotism breeds reckless disregard for reality and the inability to acknowledge one's shortcomings. These types of breakdowns are done for all the 7 traits of the rare breed, being rebellious, audacious, obsessed, hot-blooded, weird, hypnotic, emotional. And each of these traits have accompanying stories of people who embody them, like the Japanese vice consul Sugihara, who went against his general's orders during the Second World War, and he issued visas for thousands of Jews so they could travel into safety. We also have Alexander the Great when he was challenged to untie the Gordian knot, which is this infamous and impossible knot that no one ever was able to untie, and he just audaciously raised his sword and cut the knot in half, and then he just went out and conquered most of the known world. Or we have the obsessed sushi chef who lets his apprentices massage octopuses for 45 minutes before serving them, because the notorious tough meat of the octopus needs to get that perfect tenderness. And it's really stories like this that makes this book shine. I was challenged with this book because I don't necessarily believe in all the traits that the authors put forward. I mean, to me, being obsessive and a perfectionist is not always the best thing. I'm myself more of a detached person, and I consider perfectionism to be fear in fancy shoes. But I also have to admit, these guys, they make really good points. Rare Breed is an unconventional business book for those who lead, inspire and create. It's not a book full of practical tips and 10-step how-to guides, but it provides mindsets, the mindsets you need to do something out of the ordinary. And it tells stories about how great people who started out regular gals and blokes, just like you and me, use these mindsets to create something truly remarkable. When you hear these 7 traits, rebellious, audacious, hot-blooded, obsessed, emotional, weird, hypnotic, which one do you resonate with, and which one do you feel is an asset in your project or your business? Comment below, push that like button and subscribe. That really helps me. I'm going to push this book to the side. I really enjoyed it, and I'll be back next week with more book reviews. Thanks for tuning in. Bjorn out.